Dirt Trax Test Ride.
It always makes me happy to see manufacturers paying attention to the ATV side of the off-road industry. Last season, I evaluated the remodeled Kawasaki Brute Force 750, and now I've had the opportunity to evaluate a new model in Kawai's lineup, this 2025 Brute Force 450. Full disclosure, like the Brute Force 300, this is a rebranded model. Now, before you go getting all freaked out, know that Kawasaki's had significant input into the development of this ATV. And remember, this is a common practice in the off-road industry. It helps manufacturers diversify their off-road lineup without the ginormous cost associated with production and development. Warranty, distribution, and final assembly are managed by Kawasaki, which means, should you need it, parts and service can be managed through your Kawi dealer to get you back on the trail with limited downtime. Think about it like this: a manufacturer can increase its offerings and pass that savings on to its consumers, which is how you can get a 450 class ATV for less than $9,000 Canadian. Let's take a look at the features this model offers, and more importantly, how it performs. First off, although only slightly smaller in stature, this machine looks every bit like its bigger brother. With its angular plastics in this gorgeous gray-blue color, mean-looking LED headlights, and a handlebar-mounted LED light pod, from a distance, you'd swear this was a Brute Force 750. Putting power to the ground is a stout little 443cc fuel-injected single-cylinder engine mated to a CVT. Now, it may not produce arm-stretching acceleration, however, power delivery is smooth and linear and more than enough for chores. Plus, when the work is done, there's plenty of jam left in the jar for a good rip on the trails. Painted steel racks with a 75-pound capacity up front and 150 out back offer enough convenience to tackle light duties around the property, and at the end of the day, you can load it up with a cooler or fishing gear for a day out in the bush. And a 2-inch hitch receiver with a 1,050-pound towing capacity gives you solid hauling ability for a small trailer or implement, adding to this ATV's workhorse appeal. The Brute Force 450 comes with 24-inch Maxxis tires wrapped around basic 12-inch Steelies, which I actually don't mind. Quite honestly, I'm more concerned about tire performance than I am about having flashy wheels. And if I was going to upgrade the rubber, I'd probably keep these anyways and not worry about banging them up. Soaking up the terrain, the 450 Brute Force features dual A-arm front suspension offering 7.6 inches of travel and double wishbone rear suspension offering 7.9 inches of travel. Basic coilover shocks with snail cam adjusters offer competitive plushness and preload adjustability. Now, despite its smaller footprint, riding ergos feel natural, and I don't feel like a grizzly bear riding a tricycle, if you get my meaning. The seat is comfortable and supportive, the handlebar height is right, and there's plenty of space in the footwells. Plus, there's a cup holder here for your iced latte and under-seat storage that, although not abundant or water-sealed, provides enough space for your wallet, spare gloves, or whatever. Pro tip, never a bad idea to keep a few resealable baggies on hand for this stuff anyways. This smallish digital display behind the pod light isn't the gorgeous TFT offered on the 750 LE, but it is functional and easy to read and offers the essential data you'd expect from a value line ATV. Dual brake levers and a foot pedal operate single piston caliper hydraulic disc brakes on both front wheels and one single piston caliper hydraulic disc brake mounted on the left rear wheel. This simplified rear brake setup likely helps keep costs down, and while braking power isn't as urgent as dual rear discs or perhaps as durable as a sealed wet brake, it's still effective for a machine this size and its intended use. The 450 is also equipped with engine braking, which works well for descending steep slopes, and the parking brake, engaging the rear brake, is operated on the left handlebar cluster with this lever. On the right side is an easy-to-operate switch that allows you to toggle between two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and diff lock. Engagement is smooth and provides ample traction in a variety of changing conditions. Although EPS would be a bonus on this ATV, the little brute handles surprisingly well in two-wheel drive in spite of its absence. Of course, as four-wheel drive and diff lock are engaged, steering does become a little heavier, requiring a bit more rider input, which is most notable when navigating at slower speeds and in tighter, more technical terrain. And since this ATV lacks sway bars up front and out back, there's a little more body roll than I'd prefer during aggressive cornering. That said, under regular trail riding conditions, this ATV remains surprisingly planted. And with a bit of body English and throttle finesse, we feel like a confident rider can easily adapt his riding style to maintain predictable handling. All in all, the 2025 Kawasaki Brute Force 450 is a smart, budget-conscious option for riders looking for a capable mid-sized ATV delivering smooth power, solid utility features, and Kawasaki's reliable dealer network. The Brute Force 450 finds a balance between function, fun, and affordability, and is a solid reminder that sometimes less is more, especially when what you really need is a dependable ATV that can get the job done.
Make sure to subscribe and comment below for real interaction with the Dirt Trax crew.